In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you guys how to screen print simulated process or spot process on an automatic. Coming up. Welcome back everybody. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. Let's go ahead and dive right into this tutorial. I have my film all ready to go. Be sure to check out our video on how to separate complicated art such as this with this little iCard here. It's either here or there. I forget which side it's on, but let me show you the film real quick. So here's our film. We are doing 6 separate colors. This is our gray, cyan, this is our green, this is our gold, our purple, this is our white base, which we are going to print flash print. One of the keys to printing simulated process are these little half tones on each of your film, giving it a gradual tone, and we're going to overprint these colors to achieve a realistic looking effect. Something to note is I do like to put what color screen it is at the top of my film, and you can do that in the Illustrator information box in the output section. So I'm going to use all 230 mesh screens. I'm using TZ emulsion. Let's go ahead and expose these screens. Alright, our first screen's exposed. Let's take it over to the washout booth and rinse out this image. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the water hose and I'm going to rinse both of the sides. And I'm going to keep both of them wet, and I'm going to go back and forth between the two sides, keeping this image wet so that way it all falls out evenly. One of the keys to holding really fine detail is that we use the sharp edge of our scoop coater, and we use a dual cure emulsion such as Ulano TZ. We'll leave a link down in the description where you can grab some. And touching on the squeegees for just a moment, I like to use a 7090 durometer for my screen printing. It helps with, like say for instance when we're doing white, to clear the mesh nicely, and it also holds a lot better detail rather than, like say for instance, this 70 durometer, which just kind of smashes the ink through. Aside from white, here are the ink colors that we will be using for the job. We have a neon green, a tiger frog purple, peacock blue, a cool gray, and then a golden yellow. Now that our screens are all dry, let's go ahead and tape them up. With our particular press, I do like to put a piece of tape down at the bottom because the squeegees are constantly activated. This will keep the emulsion from sticking to the empty pallets once we start getting into production and even during the setup process. Welcome back. It is the next day. I got my ears lowered. So the next step is we're going to go ahead and load these screens up into the press and start registering them up. And we're going to register them up. Now that we have all of our screens pre-registered, let's go ahead and load them up with ink and do some test prints to make sure they're spot on. Let's do this. Okay, let's see what we got. It's looking pretty good for the most part. Looks like it could move up here just a little bit. Aside from that, it looks pretty good. At some point the shirt must have wiggled just a little bit because it's off just a touch there and a touch here, but the important thing is that this is registered nicely, so I think I'm going to leave it as is, and then I'm going to take an old t-shirt and I'm just going to wipe this ink off and move on to the rest of the stations. Looks good. Now that we have each screen registered and we did a test print, I'm going to go ahead and remove this film. And I'm going to let the press run around and do one hit of each color, wet on wet. We'll see how it comes out. So I'm going to turn print head 1 off because we already have our white base down. And then I'm just going to turn this thing on sample. Let's see what we get. Looks like we could put a little more ink in this one. Alright, as the ink does start to build up on the back of all these screens, the print will get brighter. So this is our first little test print. Let's go ahead and load the back of the shirt. We're going to flip it around. We're going to do print head 1, turn our flash on, let it print, flash, because we're trying to get a bright white underbase. We didn't have room for a bright white highlight. And let's see how it comes out after doing a couple test prints. Okay, we ran off about 4 test prints. This one is looking really good. I'm very happy with it. As you can see, the registration is on the money. It's looking really good. I am having to flash after the green just to get the green to get the effect I'm looking for. Like here, I'm going more for a lime green, and here without the flash, it was pretty much yellow. Now that I'm happy with my test prints, we're going to tape off the screens and warm up the palettes. Our pallets are all nice and warmed up. Our dryer's ready to go. It's time for production. Thanks for tuning in. Even if you're not a screen printer, I hope you enjoyed watching this video. I also hope this was inspirational to all you screen printers out there. Until next time, we'll see you guys later.